Okay, and we're live. Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today we're gonna continue working on the same concept we started last week. Concept by Cristina Gomez. You can see her name over here. Here's the concept, and here's where we got to so far. Hey Kimmel, how's it going? Let me know, can you hear me well? Is the music too loud? Is that alright? Let's get started. Today I wanted to work on these proportions a little bit more, because after not touching the sculpt for a week, yeah, I noticed all of the mistakes, which happens quite often. Hi, Shaka. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Doing my best. Do you usually delete the body underneath clothes for game characters, especially when they won't change clothes? I don't work for games, but I've heard that it's a common practice, yeah. I work for TV and like film media. So in film or like, yeah, in animation production, you don't usually delete the whole body. you use it for collisions because you simulate the clothing. But in games, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Certain parts of the body get deleted. Hi, doll. Hi. New names. New names in the chat. That's cool. Oh, I see. Thank you. You're welcome. Yo soy brasileiro. I'm just gonna assume that you're from Brazil, or you. Yeah, sorry. I know that yo soy is I am from Spanish. That's all I know. Because I'm working on a portfolio character now, and I wonder whether I should keep the body. Well, it depends. Yeah, where do you want to go in the industry? It's always a good practice to show the topology if the topology is good on the body. Yeah, why not show it off? You can show it off in 2 renders, one with the wireframe, fully like naked body, and then one with clothes on top. It still shows that you have good knowledge of how to make topology. Very good, congrats. Thank you. It is slowly getting there. Can't help but feel that they should be wider apart. Oops. Oops. How long did you use ZBrush? Oops, I meant, yeah, I'm from Brazil. Got it. How long have you used ZBrush? For 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 years, almost. Almost 5 years. Which is not that long. There's some veterans on the channel who've used it from day one, I'm pretty sure. I'm not one of them. But yeah, 5 years seems like a long time to me. I don't know, like this track. Give me a second. You're right, we'll do that. By the way, your portfolio is very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you. Still working on it. Could use some improvement. But thank you. I'm watching Hilda from Netflix show. I still haven't given it a watch. Is it good? I'm usually into cartoon series, but I haven't seen Hilda yet. He's a cute character. Okay, guys, I realized that I forgot my back pillow, and I'm gonna be sitting here for a while, so I'm gonna grab it from the other room and I'll come back in a second. Okay, I'm back. All right. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate. Just drop them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. In case if any of you guys are wondering what kind of shortcuts I'm using, so the fastest way to polygroup a few objects in the same subtool is by Ctrl-Shift dragging this green rectangle, which will isolate everything that you're trying to select, kind of like a lasso tool. And then I hit Ctrl-Shift-A, which just expands the selection to the edges of each object. And then I hit Ctrl-W to create a polygroup. And then I hit Ctrl-Shift on the canvas to show everything. Hey, good morning, even Steven. Yeah, about that. For the viewers out there that don't know who Steven is, Steven is another streamer here on the channel. He streams before me, so the title is from his stream. My title would get updated after my stream. So yeah, my name can be seen over here, Layla Viscu, as well as my socials. Okay, these days you never know. Glad to see you nonetheless. How you've been? Thank you, I've been great. I'm actually on my Christmas holiday now. So basically all I'm gonna do for my few weeks of holidays is just sculpt. Maybe I'll get some vitamin D from the sun in my system, but that's just a maybe. You guys, plans for the holidays? Okay. These hands will do for now. They look kind of scary, but they'll get better. More work on them. Probably my least favorite thing to sculpt. Let's give it 2 subdivisions. And then we'll merge it with the previous subtool. Make sure to go to the upper level. And then go and say merge down. Now it respected your levels in both subtools and you have lower and upper subdivisions. I know what you mean, working on a deadline for my first professional sculpt, doing 16 to 18-hour days in the chair is killing me. Yeah man, you gotta get that back support pillow. And make sure to get some water in your system as well. Don't get dehydrated. I need some sun, yeah, I feel you. Today we actually have some sun in Auckland. Even though it's the middle of, well, it's beginning of summer. It's been pouring the past 2 weeks. Ankle swollen. Yeah, try to go for a walk. A mild walk. Every now and again. Oh my god, her hands are so huge. But they are on a concept. They're like as big as her head. If we were to measure this distance to this one. They're huge. But I would still maybe scale them down by 5%. Still huge. Okay, that's better. Let's elongate her torso just a bit. I don't think I'll sculpt much beyond that, just because of the nature of the sculpt being a speed sculpt. And I'm doing it for practice. It can be considered like a work on a collectible sculpt or a sculpt for printing. If you want, because I get some questions in the chat like, what is it for? Why are you doing this? And I just do it for practice. You can check out the previous videos of what I've made on the channel with my name. I believe there's a playlist on ZRemesher's channel. We've sculpted 2 things so far, one of them being Mabel Pines from Gravity Falls. Full body, and like a really funny pose. And the other one was a Halloween witch. That's just an FYI. Okay. Oh, we got her hands in. Proportions might be wrong, but I'll go with it. And if it breaks when I pose, I'll fix it. Okay, let's work on her face some more, because I kind of left it unfinished last stream. And I pulled some more reference on my other screen here. Here's a little trick for you, if you didn't know. When you get to higher subdivisions, move with topological turned on can be a bit laggy. So if you want like feedback with no latency, I would suggest turning it off, isolating the part that you want to work on, hitting Ctrl and Canvas, then unhiding everything, flipping the mask, and then what you can do is hit Ctrl H to hide the mask, but the mask is still active and it's still quite laggy. Oh yeah, might be because of dynamic being on. But I've experienced that topological can also slow down the movements on higher subdivisions. So the mask is still there, and you can preview it by hitting Ctrl on the canvas again. And then Ctrl H will hide it again. Is sketching important to increase observation, or should I stick to speed sculpt? Whatever works for you. I sketch sometimes. Yeah, I sketch sometimes just because I don't have ZBrush available to me throughout the whole day. So I would say, yeah, of course. Do both if you can. Sketch when you can and sculpt when you can. It also depends on what kind of skills you're trying to improve. If it's hitting the concept, like translation of the concept from 2D to 3D, then speed sculpts are better for training observation and like attention to details and actually hitting the concept. But if you're trying to learn anatomy, you might be better off with like sketching or doing some live drawing. Again, if you can, if they're available to you, and if you can afford them. They can get expensive, from what I've heard. I want to change the shape around here, because to me the concept looks like well, girl is either like a Filipino mixed with Japanese mixed with an elf. So I have some pictures of Japanese girls and Filipino girls on my screen to the top, so my upper screen. Oh wow, that's too much. Okay, let's bring it back. answering the same question, I actually drew my whole life, ever since I can remember myself. So from kindergarten to primary school to middle school to where I am now. But then right about in middle school to high school, I discovered 3D. And 2D drawing took a back step because I got so much into 3D, this new hobby that I had at the time, that I got like fully consumed by it. And I haven't been drawing much ever since. Just doing modeling and speed sculpts and whatnot. And it's been great. How about we open her mouth? Yeah, had a few questions coming in last stream about how hard it's gonna be, and I said it wasn't gonna be hard, so let's see if I was lying. Let's do it lower. I'll split the subtool, be a separate one. This one can still maintain the hierarchy. Okay. So here's what I like to do. I'll turn off the perspective. Yeah, something like this will work. Just masking out the top portion of her kind of like a jaw area. Better. Smooth it out. Let's sharpen it. And then Ctrl W will create a polygroup. Nice and clean. Now let's see if it did anything. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now let's sculpt in the mouth cavity, aka mouth bag. Was that smart transpose mask? Yeah, it was just a transpose mask. BTR is a hotkey. I don't even think about it anymore. And then you just Control drag and drop it on the mesh and it will create a mask. Yeah, you need to specify the direction that you want the mask to go in. I just pointed it downwards and it created kind of a nice split. let's do the same thing for the lower one. That's the same way I would sculpt for production, by the way, as well. Not just for speed sculpts. It's a cool thing you can do in ZBrush if you want to open the mouth of the character, or you're just sculpting the character to be in a neutral pose, but you need that mouth bag to be in the model, in the sculpt, before you start with topology. That's the way I would do it. Maybe I understand we really used it, but now I gotta reconsider that. Yeah. I know a lot of people are against it, but I actually use transpose tool for a lot of things. For masking especially, for posing. And now, let's see, I can kind of open her mouth. But it looks cursed, so gotta make it look better. Let's open it up just a bit. Push it in. Now let's turn off the symmetry, go to transform, to the transpose tool, click on the cog, and let's, come on, remesh by union. Let's check for any holes here. Yep, here they are. I usually fix it with the sculptures. That's the only time I use sculptures, to be honest. I'm one of those people who never really adapted to it. Ever since its release. Ooh, there's a huge hole here. Closed it. Okay. It's not bad. Let's do this thing again. Ooh, that was ugly. Yeah, let's try to ZRemesher. Oh, yikes, what's going on here? Let's fix mesh. I wonder what's causing it. I was meaning to ask you if you use Transpose Master for posing, or you resort to other apps for building a rig. For speed sculpts, I don't usually build a rig. For bigger projects, yeah, sure. But, what's up with that? Okay, let's Dynamesh, which I don't normally do, but it should be fine in this case. Yeah, I prefer T-pose, whatever it's called, Transpose Master, T-pose mesh, T-pose subtool, for smaller projects like these. It gives you really nice control over the shapes and even the stuff that a simple rig can't really do, Like you can roughly pose a character, but then in certain areas like the elbows or like armpits, there might be like some unwanted stretching happening with the rig, and it's quite easy to fix in ZBrush. Okay, do I like it? No, it's too low poly. Let's increase it to like 2.5 and ZRemesher it again. Still not perfect. Let's try the ZRemesher guide. Nor do I expect it to be perfect, to be honest, but let's select this part. Let's specify to keep groups, increase it a bit more. Gotta go now. Thanks for sharing your insight and happy sculpting. Thank you so much. Have a nice day as well. Or night. Yikes. What is happening here? Gotta smooth it out. I know it's boring, guys, but bear with me. It usually takes a few tries to get an okay topology. Now it's far from perfect, but I'll go with it. Because it's gonna change anyway. But it will give me a solid base to work off. Yeah. It's got 4 levels. Let's subdivide it 4 times. Oh, 3 times to get 4 levels. And then I'm gonna merge it down. And it worked. Cool. Now let's work on her mouth a little bit. Was just checking her lips. I thought it was one straight line, as often 2D artists draw like a simplified upper lip without the Cupid's bow. That turning point when we have this like diamond shaped, triangle shaped. Change in the lips. But they actually do. There is a slight, very slight Cupid's bow. So let's do that. I like to do it with Echo Curve turned on. It's a very easy way to create a Cupid's bow. Layla, Merry Christmas for advance. Ah, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. What's today, 19th? Yeah, it's right around the corner. We should have prepared some non-copyright Christmas music for the stream, but I feel like we all get enough of it when we go to shopping malls to buy Christmas presents, because it's playing there non-stop right now. Yeah, and we had a plastic Christmas tree. Oh, I think we're gonna have one as well this year. I'm gonna get one, but it's not gonna be plastic. Okay. Let's give her some very proxy teeth for now. Yeah, I feel like we've been quiet for a while, so I'm gonna start talking about something. And how about you guys tell me if you're working on anything while watching me sculpt? Is sculpting along, or are you doing your own thing? Do you watch it for educational purposes or just to chill? Because either is fine. Preparing for a 3D sculpt by building a model kit for reference first. Wow. Sounds very complex. Model kit? What kind of model kit? Gundam. Ooh, wow. Cool. Is it for toy manufacturing? Or is it just collectibles? Or... want to make the sculpt for later rigging. Cool. All the parts here. Animation and rigging. That's one long project right over there. You're gonna texture it as well? Now looking at the concept, I can see that her cheeks are very big compared to the original art. Her face is more elongated, I guess. Let's see what we can do. Animation and rigging, probably. Yeah, that's my kind of approach. Hello, Xmater. Xmater? Wow. What happened to her head? I must have not touched it in a while. Kind of trying to measure how big her forehead is supposed to be. I only have too much skull. By the way, can you hear me well? Or can you hear the music at all? Yes, sound is good. Music is nice and quiet in the background. Oh, okay. So I can bring it up a bit. What is the weather in your city today? It's sunny, as the summer is supposed to be. For anyone in the southern hemisphere that can relate. Hear you clearly, music is just in the background and not overpowering. That's cool. Because like I'm in soundproof headphones right now, and I can barely hear my voice, so I start to freak out. Can you guys hear me? But I'm right next to the mic, so I hope you do. Plus, each track is a bit of a different volume frequency, so it feels. Yeah, I'm about to merge all of the subtools together. I wonder if I should do it with her body as well. I guess it wouldn't hurt. We can always adjust it later. I'm not too afraid to do that, I guess. Okay. We've got all of the poly groups in order. Let's subdivide it 2 times. Merge down. Now we've got this. Okay, let's clean up some of the poly groups. Like this one, for instance. Yep. Before I do any of the ZRemesh by union or Dynamesh, whatever fits your workflow, I like to straighten out this line of where the two kind of like geometries meet. It's more of a straighter line. Oops. Okay, that's better. Would be a good idea to create some space in the armpit area before I do the remesh by union. So that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe not like that. Doesn't work with subdivision levels. That's alright. Clip curve. Let's try that. Oh, it's not gonna work. Alright. How about we just create a mask? Something like this. Also, as a tip for you, if you don't want to use topological, there's another way to affect only one polygroup at a time. You can go to brush, I believe it's under auto masking, and then you have to slide it all the way to 100 over here. Hope nothing's blocking. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. So brush auto masking to 100, and now when I try to move something, it will only be affecting the certain polygroup that you're hovering over with your cursor. Okay, but for now we don't need it. I mean, I could keep it on just so I don't use polygroups. I mean, I don't use topological, sorry. I'm babbling. But it's morning for me here in New Zealand, so forgive me. Alright. Merged all of the subtools together. This is not ideal, but we'll smooth it out. Those sounds in the background, by the way, are from the song. You guys probably don't hear it, but there's like some dishware cluttering on the background of the song, and I'm like, oh, is someone home? Or am I just hallucinating? Yeah, let's turn off the poly groups. Yep, now let's try running the ZRemesher. Let's crank it up. And let's add some ZRemesher guides as well. Okay, let's run it and see what we get. Oh, wow, okay. Guess I should group this one together. And let's look at the double. Oh, I see what's going on. I thought I should mention that this approach with ZRemesher doesn't always work for production, for like game-ready models or cinematics or animation production. Most of the time, it won't be good. It's doing a good job at like giving you a temporary mesh that you can work on, but as you can see, like this is not acceptable, which is alright. because we will fix it. And usually if I were to actually work or like create a model for a production, I would do it either manually or using a plugin called ZRemesher. You can buy it. You can just Google ZRemesher. I'm not sponsoring it or anything, it's just a cool plugin. If you hate topology, that's for you. Because I know some people actually love topology. So I can't speak for everyone. Let's try again. Okay. Not bad. Okay. Alright. I feel like we can work with it. Let's save it. I'm gonna Ctrl-Shift-D on my keyboard to save it as a version. And then on this one, we'll run it again and it will be much faster because we're working with a smaller or like lighter topology. I kind of want this to happen. So kind of get rid of this star that's creating unwanted behaviors. Okay, did get rid of the star, but then it created problems in other areas like this one. I wonder if we could clean it up. Oh, we actually could. I'm gonna save. Delete this one. And now let's stitch these two dots. I mean vertices. And these two vertices. And here you go, a cleaner topology. Okay, now, I'm gonna do it again here. I'm doing it now because it's the best time to actually clean up your model, because I'm gonna be adding subdivisions real soon, so we can reproject the details that we've lost during the ZRemesher process. Being better. Obviously all the details are gone, but we'll bring them back in a second. Alright, let's subdivide it 4 times. And if you were just like me and you forgot to save your high-res mesh, I'm just gonna roll back in history because we had a duplicate. But what you could do, you could like duplicate the mesh with the history. How would I explain it? So basically, duplicate it and leave a low poly, and then in the duplicate there's gonna be the history, and you can roll back to the point where you had the high res. That's just the way I like to do it. Can be a bit risky because you can accidentally forget about it and delete it if you like to keep everything clean. But because I'm like a trash raccoon when it comes to my organizational skills in ZBrush, I keep everything. Okay, let's project it. There's no color, so we switch it off. Let's save just in case. And we got the details back. Yay. Let's check for any unwanted behaviors, like especially in the tight creases, like these ones, like armpits. Sometimes between the head and the ears. No, it's fine. I was lucky today. Okay. I want to smooth out this nose bridge hardcore. For now, you can see me just boringly smoothing out the transitions between certain subtools that we used to have. I don't smooth all of it, just the areas that make sense to me, like this transition from the neck to the head to the jaw. Doesn't make sense to have it really sharp. Also getting rid of these annoying crease lines, which are bound to happen on the higher subdivisions. It's okay. Doesn't matter so much on the lower part of the body because it's gonna be hidden. But it's still a nice thing to do. Oh, I'm so glad to see her looking better than the last stream. It was just a monstrosity, and now it's less of a monstrosity, more of a human. Or, I should say, an elf. By the way, I should mention that I'll probably sculpt for longer this time. So if you're gonna stick around, then go ahead, get some snack, some tea or coffee. Christmas season after all, so just be cozy. My partner didn't used to get why I treated sculpting as like a relaxation, because I do it for a living, so doing the same thing when I come back home was odd to him. But now he gets it. Like sometimes I'm just really cozy, like wrapped up in a blanket, drinking like some hot tea and sculpting on the weekend. Just learn to relax while doing it, I guess. Also, I don't like this track. Okay, it's a solid base to actually... We can start blocking out all the other elements, like her hat, her earring, maybe, yeah, even her clothing. And then we can throw some proxy polypaint on her on the stream. Hey Layla, it's coming along great, thank you. Governor Jesse. Sorry if I mispronounced it. I'm really eager to smooth out this transition because of some of the references that I have on my other screen. Yeah, kind of like it. So I'll keep it semi-sharp here for the stylization purposes. I'm pretty sure you can have like a tight crease here. Also, it's on the concept. She has them. But I want to smooth it out here. Like a lot. Okay. I feel like her neck could be thinner than it is on the concept. So, I'm gonna thin it out real quick. This much, right? Also, I feel like I want to make her shoulders a bit sharper. They were a bit droopy before. I'm gonna try something with her eyes. We'll see how it looks like. I wanna bring them a bit inwards. Yeah, I feel like it's working better. There's a bigger planar change between like where the eyes sit and like this cheekbone and nose bridge. Like this area makes more sense to me now. But it's really quite subjective. Anyone else who takes this concept and tries to replicate it in 3D will have a different result, and it's alright. Just this, yeah, it's better. Okay, that's not a good thing. Okay, I think I'm gonna restart now. Let me quickly check that I saved everything. Alright. No. Do you have any advice for how far the eyes stick out of the skull? My advice would be pay attention to, well, which race the character belongs, and then use according references to that. Because it will really heavily depend on what type of skull lies beneath like the fat and the skin. So it really depends. You can Google differences in skulls depending on the race. and you'll see how drastic they are. Let's say start with this. Okay, load tool. Okay. And we're back. Don't know what it was. Okay. It will also depend on the sex, so whether it's female or male skull. So how different the skulls can be. I know if to click save. Yeah, I found a good one. Okay. Hope this makes sense. And it's a picture by Anatomy for Sculptors, which is a book. Also, you can follow them on ArtStation. They have posts just dedicated to anatomy. I'm pretty sure they're snippets from their book. Orbital and zygomaxillary. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Flatness is mostly characterized by a more anterior situated zygoma. Yeah, basically this thing. How close is it or how far away is it from the eye sockets? Well, it's kind of part of the eye socket. And it will really drive how far you should place your eyeballs and how far you should stretch like the corner of the eye and the eye itself. So I would recommend checking out some anatomy books. Anatomy for Sculptors is one of them. They have lots of helpful stuff like that. Of course, sex will also play a role, and the age as well. The age of the character. I will check for more references on the eye proportions. Yep, do that. Alright. Let's block out some of her clothing, shall we? She's kind of wearing this coat. There's a fun color going on here, made out of the peppermint candy. I'm just gonna assume what it looks like. Also, her sleeves go about this long. I have knowledge of all the muscles and how they're made, but the problem is coming and finishing. It's not looking real. Can you please give me some advice? Problem is coming and finishing, so like final polish, it's not looking Are you going for like realistic sculpture? Or is it stylized? Can you please specify that? Gonna leave some space for the color. And I feel like it's gonna be... This jacket is kind of like... It's got buttons, kind of like a coat. So I'd assume the color is gonna be one part, but it doesn't meet here in the middle, it doesn't connect. So they're like two pieces that kind of overlap. Realistic one. Are you trying to achieve likeness? Or are you just sculpting without any references? Because it's one thing to have references and knowledge of muscle systems and how they work and the anatomy. I don't have that. I'm just winging it. And the other is to actually have an idea in mind of what you're trying to achieve. So the final product, what does it look like? Exactly your question. I would recommend finding something on ArtStation or Pinterest, like a finished sculpture of a certain level, in the pose that you like, in the lighting that you like, and then trying to actually get there, not copying it, but finding like 2, 3, 4 different images that you like and combining them all into the concept that you should have in mind when you're sculpting, because otherwise you can get stuck very easily. I can't see what you're talking about because I can't see your work, but just from my assumption is that you might be lacking like sense of direction right now. If your anatomy is good, like you say, it might be just, yeah, you don't know what to do with it. And it's easy to say for me because like I mostly work with the concepts that already have everything figured out, and it certainly does make my life easier. But I've done some stuff without concepts in the past, and I've been stuck before. I've felt stuck before. Okay. Now, what I like to do, I'm gonna duplicate it, delete lower, solo. Now Control W, select the mesh, the piece of the clothing that I've masked out. Delete hidden, it can be found in modify topology. Delete hidden, I just have it brought up on my menu that you might have seen throughout the whole stream. Have a few things here. Okay, now we've got a piece of clothing. Let's inflate it just a little bit. Let's ZRemesh it. Oh, you're good at that. Fake it till you make it. That's my motto. I wonder if it's not symmetrical. That's why it's giving me a hard time. Okay, let's quickly check the symmetry. I can't even do something like that. Well, it takes time to get better at something. It certainly took me time. I've been promising to show something so many streams. But I actually found my first ever sculpt in ZBrush, and it was atrocious. And I can't believe I was proud of it, but I was. And it's alright. Do you guys want to see it? Oh my god, okay. Here we go. Look at this lips. And these ears, I didn't even sculpt. I'm pretty sure I dragged them on with the with the chisel brush that comes with ZBrush. These eyes are sticking out. I'm pretty sure they're oval for some reason. Oh no, that's not really good. This is her rendered. Oh yeah. It's... I'm not too ashamed about texturing on this one. I mean, the gold looks like plastic, and butterflies are just cards. And there is some SSS for some reason on the roses. It looks like candy, not really like roses. But yeah, grown a lot, I like to believe. That's so cool. Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Thank you. And I love your art. Thank you. You're really sweet. Later, a year later, I actually remade Frida. Let me open it from... I made her more doll-like, but I can still see so many mistakes with this one. Gold still doesn't feel like gold. And her lips, oh my god. They're like sewn together. The hair is looking better, much better. But I feel like I should make it again. I should remake it and make a video out of it on YouTube. Because I feel like that would be a fun topic. Let you guys know, by the way, if you would like me to make something like this on my channel. Okay, getting back to our girl. This thing is ZRemeshed. Okay. That would be so cool, kind of seeing your progress for the years. Yeah, that's the idea. That you can actually get better somewhat. Well, look who it is. Layla graces my window tab with her peachy happy go like yourself. Thank you. I'm back. I have so many tabs open. Look at this. It's a freaking mess. I feel yeah. I have like 10 open at the same at this current time. Yep, just trying to figure out like the cloth physics without doing any cloth physics. Can be a bit tricky. She definitely looks better with her hair on, but I shouldn't rely on that. Right. Let's actually delete that one, and we're gonna polygroup this one. Select it, invert it, delete it. Now we have a kind of a coat thing going on. Okay, let me think. So the buttons are on her left side, meaning that so confused right now. It is drawn in a really weird way. No, so the buttons are on the right side and the holes are on the left. Okay, so the left side of the jacket is on top. I think I'm right. So I want to ZRemesher it again. Okay. At least 20 plus here. Is there a need to learn anatomy in doing ZBrush? If you want to make characters, then yes. If you want to make robots or hard surface, then no. But it also depends what kind of robots. If they are humanoid robots, then you need anatomy. So long story short, yes, you do need it. Let's turn on dynamics for a minute. See what it's looking like. noting some tension faults. Not sure if they're right or not. Also, I feel like I should add thickness before I do that. Might be harder to do it later on. So we should save. Maybe we can delete the thickness underneath, but keep this lip. Just so it's easier. Let me quickly add some support loops. Turn on dynamic without thickness. Okay, it's looking more like a coat now. I feel like her neck is too short. Yeah. Oh well. Let's just select all of that. What we're gonna do, not really a trick, but that's the way I like to do it. Whenever I see that some proportional things are out of balance and I need to affect two of the subtools simultaneously, I select the area that I need, and then you can select this one, which will say ZBrush, tell ZBrush to grab this subtool and affect it, but also grab all the other subtools that are visible. And now you can see that when I move this, the shirt also comes along, but even though it's a separate subtool, if I were to turn it off, it would only affect the body. Okay, her neck. This one, then the concept. Maybe even a bit more. Now let's unhide everything. And let's fix some of this stuff. Like her clavicle just stretching hardcore. Needs to be moved up a bit. It's looking fine. Let's jump back on our coat. And I'm gonna grab something like curve tube. I'm gonna select this edge and I'm gonna crease it. And you'll see why in just a second. So I creased it, and now in the stroke, you can go to curve functions and go deselect border and polygroups and select frame mesh. That's not what we need though, because it's the whole poly loop. What if I do this? What's still? Oh, no, kind of worked. Okay, what we need to do is select just this part, increase it, now stroke, creased edges, cool. It gave us a perfect curve along the border here, and now the curve tube. I can do this, and it's kind of a base for our color. Make it thicker, around this thickness. Yep, this will do. Let's separate it and let's fix up what we've done here. Let's go to geometry, crease, and crease all. We don't want to leave it there because it can cause some ugly creasing and ugly deformation in the future if I forget about it. Здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Hello, hello. I don't know why I'm doing that. I can actually just subdivide it. And then I have... Oh. Yeah, I guess that's alright. Okay, it's kind of doing its job for now. Let's maybe add this fluff on her, what do you call them? On her sleeve. stroke, creased edges, you know the drill. I forgot to turn on the symmetry. Let's do it again. Then same brush. Gives you a nice base to go off of. Can sometimes create two meshes at the same time. We don't really want. Did I hit delete hidden instead of split? Okay. Hidden. Now let's do auto groups. Select just one and mirror in world without the local symmetry turned on. Mirror in world. Let's subdivide it. Let's start adding those cloudy parts. Not being too precise here, just generally trying to match the concept. Okay, cool. Let's give her that hat that she has on the concept. Oh, yikes. Whatever happened there. Let's fix it. Oh, I see. When I was doing this, I accidentally grabbed some on top as well. Let's turn on double. It's always a good idea to have double on. For those who don't know, double means it displays both sides of the geometry. If I turn it off, you see, only one side. Double, two sides. I don't believe it costs you any like performance or anything, so just keeping it on might save you some frustration in the future. Not to say that I'm frustrated, because it's only been a few clicks. Sometimes I would do some work for half an hour and then realize that I've deleted some faces, and it's actually would be cleaner to come back and redo the whole work. Okay, no messages in the chat. The chat's been really quiet today, which is okay. Means that I get to do more work in the same time. Actually, we're going on to 2.5 hours now. I'm gonna quickly check if there's anyone lined up after me, and if not, that I can go for another half an hour. And maybe we can polypaint her real quick. But yeah, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I'll be happy to answer. I think everyone's just doing something in the background while chilling to your voice. Oh, thank you. That's kind of sweet. Okay, it looks like the next one is Ara Kermanikin. Another streamer here. Let me just quickly. Oh yeah. There's no one lined up after me. At least my website doesn't say it. So we can actually stream for longer today. For those who don't know about this trick, if you've lost symmetry along the way, as you can see here, this is asymmetrical for some reason. You guys might have spotted it, I didn't. So the easiest way to fix it is to select half of your mesh directly where the symmetry line is, mask it, and then go to Smarter Symmetry, and it will flip the mesh to the other side. And depending on your needs, you can like flip it as well. the other side. I feel like I like the other way around. Yeah, like this. Started 2 hours ago. Damn, I missed it. Yeah, it's been 2 hours and 27 minutes. It's okay, you can always scroll back and see what we've done. You didn't miss much. Ah, I see. That's how I lost symmetry. Okay, so her range is kind of odd. It's not following the shape, it's tapering in at the top way more than it should, and that it is on the concept, so we're just gonna straighten it out, maybe push it in. Just for fun, let's try to open her mouth. See whether it's working or not. It kinda is. Obviously it needs work. The thing is, her mouth is open way wider. But it looks silly, so I'm gonna come back to it a bit later in the sculpt. And it'll make it look more appealing. For now, she'll be like this. Also, now I'm noticing that her irises are way too big. And her eyebrows are out of place. What's this track? Okay. Let's lift up her left eyebrow. Kind of looks silly at the moment because the fringe is not right yet. It needs to show more of the forehead, and right now it's just a slab of clay. We have roughly 20 minutes left, and I thought I could give her some really simple Polypaint. Let's see how she looks like with the Polypaint on. It can really help with matching the concept. Matching the scope to the concept. Really lovely colors by Christina Gomez. I'm gonna tag her on Instagram, and I hope she'll see my sculpt once it's done. Okay, I'm done. Sorry guys, I wasn't talking because it was a very slow process of creating all of the polygroups. So I can easily color now. Yes. It's not 100% match, I can see it straight away. As soon as I added Polypaint, I see that it's too high up. I guess we'll do for now. Same should go for the color, but it's not finalized yet, so I probably wouldn't texture it right now. I mean polypaint it. Let's do her face. I like to bring it down and then slowly add in. Oh, I did something there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Also, let's save. Noticing that her lip is a bit too thin on the inside. Doesn't really matter for the speed sculpt, but it does matter for animation. I'd make it a bit thicker on the inside. Let's color her mouth bag as well. Oops. And even though you can't really see it in the concept, apart from pink pigments that I add, I like to add some yellowness as well. I'll bring it down to like 15 intensity. And then the yellow usually goes around the corners of the mouth, the forehead. You can barely see it, but if I like bring in the flat colors, you will notice it, just ever so slightly. And then I like to go over with some blue tones as well. The jawline and the corners of her eyes could be bluer. A very subtle change, but I like to do that. Again, like, let's give her like sort of an eyeliner. Oh no. I wonder if I could... If I could make it work with the transpose line. Kind of works. Are you gonna pose her? Yes, I think so. I mean, of course, yeah, I'm gonna pose her. It's just a matter of whether I'm gonna do it on stream or off stream. Do you have any tips on separating the model into different polygroups and subtools? Like, is there any logic behind it or just personal preference? Good question. Well, you can kind of spot from my workflow that I like to keep everything separate. Well, most of it separate. So I like to think of the body of the character, let's say, as different areas. So there's a head area, there's a kind of a torso area, arms, the neck kind of goes in the torso area, I guess. And I like to keep them separate and keep them as separate subtools and not blend them for as long as I can. And once I'm happy with the proportions, I still keep them, but I do remesh by union, and then I keep the polygroups when I ZRemesh. So I can always have access to kind of the same subtools I had in the beginning, but now blended all in one mesh. I hope that makes sense. It just gives you such a good control over the whole mesh. It's kind of like, instead of masking, now I have polygroups, and I can use them to isolate areas and to focus on them separately. That's just my workflow. It doesn't mean you have to do it, but that's what I recommend. Do you use AI art generators for concepts? I've used it. Like, I played around with Midjourney, and it's fun. I feel like the problem arises when people start posting it online and not saying that it's AI. That's what the whole protest is about on ArtStation right now. Which, to be honest, I support. I've seen some stolen accounts or like fake accounts with stolen art, or people using AI to blend two very like recognizable images by two artists, and those are like legit art pieces, and then like showing them off as their own. That I do not support, but I've played around with Midjourney and I actually quite enjoyed it. It would be neat to see how you pose it. I know, but we're running out of time and there is a lot to be done on this character still. Even though she's in a better place right now than she was, there's still a long way to go. And if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna stick around for longer, so it might be like 3.5 hour stream, depending on how much I last. Thanks for answering. You're welcome. Yeah, basically my workflow is what I would recommend, just because it works for me. Don't like her lips, hey. It looks so funny with the expression. It works in 2D, but as soon as I try to bring it into 3D, it just breaks. Maybe let's work some on her fingers. Also, her thumb seems broken. I'll try to fix that as well. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly increase the size of her eyes because once I added Polypaint, I started noticing that there's something off in terms of the proportions of her whites, eye whites, like the cornea versus the iris. And partially it's the posed eyes as well, which I'm gonna do at the very end, but okay, let me switch everything off apart from the eyes or eyelashes. Yeah, and that's it. Oh, and her body. Yes. Increase the size a bit. Once big Polypaint. I really don't get people who call themselves AI artists when they say that AI realizes their vision, even though a lot of time all they do is write pretty generic basic descriptions in prompts. Well, those prompts are still visions. But it shouldn't be called traditional art, or probably art, really. Maybe those people, yeah, generally just want to create something, but they lack the skills. I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go, but all I have for those people is compassion. Not to like look down on them, because I'm not the most amazing artist ever, but I have some art skills, and I have friends that tell me that, oh, I wish I could paint, but I don't have the talent. And by the way, I don't believe in talent. I feel like it's overrated. What I believe in is hard work and skills that come from hard work. So all I have for those people is compassion, because anyone can learn to do art. And when people say that they don't have any talent and they'd rather use AI tools, for instance, I mean, that's their choice. Who am I to say no? Learn ZBrush. You don't get it. Maybe I don't get it. Yep, it's looking much better now with the scaled down irises. I can click between what it was. Maybe I can't. Maybe it deleted history actually. That's alright. People who got talent do art every single day, all the time. Yeah, that's basically. Then, yeah, I don't have a problem with the definition of talent if that's what it is. But it's not this inborn holy thing. It's not magical. No. art can be magical, but talent is not magical. No. All right. What should we do? If you sculpt with Dynamesh and you finish it with no subdivs, how do you pose it after? Do you need to make subdivisions in the process? How do you manage it? I don't usually sculpt with Dynamesh. I use it as a midpoint to blend stuff together, and like really I try to use Remesh by Union, which is similar to Dynamesh but not really. It combines all the parts together but keeps the definition of those parts better than Dynamesh. I usually wouldn't finish my sculpt in Dynamesh. I would at some point use ZRemesher to create lower subdivision, and then I would keep my higher subtool, like Dynamesh subtool, like your finished sculpt, on top, your low poly on the bottom, then you add subdivs to the low poly, and then you reproject all those details. And then you have this nice topology on the bottom level, which is low poly, which is so much easier to pose than Dynamesh. I don't see how you can pose Dynamesh really without any stretching or yeah, I would not recommend doing that. I would recommend either retopologizing if it's for animation or for games in Maya or 3D Code or any other software. You can even do it in ZBrush with ZRemesher. Just takes a few tries, and like you need to clean up the geometry and then pose it, because by not doing it you're shooting yourself in the knee. Okay, thanks. I did saw that in my class, but it's a bit confusing sometimes. Yeah, it can be, especially with so many different tools available in ZBrush that basically do the same thing. You're just left wondering, so what's the best approach? Yeah, just go to ZRemesher after you finished your Dynamesh sculpt and make it low poly. It will be so much easier to pose. Okay, let's give her those buttons, maybe. A lot of time I find myself sculpting in Dynamesh and just keep increasing resolution, then I'm too afraid to ZRemesh. I think I have a problem. Dynamesh Anonymous? Have you heard of that? It's okay. It's okay, Edgarus. We all have problem. I ZRemesh too much, probably. Or I ZRemesh too early sometimes. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend... Dynamesh is a great tool, but I wouldn't recommend staying on that stage for way too long. You might get stuck. Okay, I need the reference of that peppermint candy. Because that's what the artist used as her buttons for her coat. But I do not remember what shape. Here and okay. I'm really finding a good reference images. What if I Google peppermint candy button? They actually exist. Cute. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to wing it. Fruit. Always with all. And then maybe it's too much. Oof, okay. Okay. Doesn't really fit. I guess I'll just paint it The old school way. I mean, not the old school. More of a like hardcore way. This stream is titled No Spare Time with Smartest Steven Anderson. This is coming along really nicely. I know it's titled that way. It will be changed at the end of the stream, maybe a bit later. I'm not in charge of naming, nor can I change it. So you just have to read my name from here. It's Layla Viscu, and my socials are there as well. It's Layla Viscu everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, ArtStation. The ZRemesher approach to make their live, how does it work? No, I actually approached them. There was, if you used ZBrush the past couple of months, whenever you would turn it on the news page, there'd be like an ad saying we want you. And basically ZBrush was looking for artists to like do, I'm pretty sure like maybe a one-off stream to like showcase an artwork or talk about behind the scenes of an artwork or share some insight on what it's like to work in the industry, gaming industry or animation industry. And I contacted them and they got back to me and they seemed interested. We had a chat and then I asked to stream on the channel and they were happy to let me. And it's been great so far. I'm happy to be here. Okay, we're missing one thing, which is this tiny little Christmas tree. Okay, so this button is done. Let's create an IMM brush from it. Create, insert mesh, new. switch everything off. And we only need 3 of them. Here, oh no, doesn't have any Polypaint. Then never mind. Let's do it like this. Let's flatten it a bit. Alright. Here they are. 3 buttons. Like this one is a bit too high. Okay. I feel like that's as much as we'll be able to do on this stream. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. Phew, okay. When are you streaming again? So that's a good question. I just got, well, I booked these couple of streams that we made this girl in advance before knowing that I'll have a longer holiday period of work. And we have, what, 5 days before Christmas? Yeah. So I might stream again this week. I'll need to check with the administrators like ZBrush and see if they can fit me in somewhere. If not, then we'll just finish her after Christmas. I mean, it's still holiday season, New Year's and everything. Great stream, thank you. Yeah, I feel like it was really chill. I enjoyed it a lot. Obviously, there's a lot to be done, like her pose, opening her mouth wider, her hair. There's just a few blobs of clay right now. Obviously, I want it to be better. Her earring is really cute, and the huge candy cane as well. I'm really looking forward to continuing working on it. And thank you, all of you guys and girls, for coming. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna post it once it's done on my social media. So in case if you still haven't followed me, or if you wanna follow me, just Layla Viscu. I'm the only one out there with that nickname. You won't miss it. Thank you for your stream. I enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm glad everyone showed up. It was so sweet. Can you tweet or post something on Insta when you're going live? Yeah, I know. Social media gives me an anxiety, so I try to stay off it as much as I can. But I should be notifying my viewers and followers when I go live. It is announced on ZBrushLive.com like a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance when I'm gonna stream, and it's always Monday and it's always or Sunday depending on where you are. But for me, the Pacific time is Monday 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. and I try to stick to the schedule most of the time. But it's a fair point. I will post stuff on social media to let everyone know. Okay, next time, thanks. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming, and I'm gonna end it here. You have an awesome rest of your day, night, wherever you are.